Hello family, I'm Maheshravi. Welcome back to my channel Learn and Lead. Today I'm going to give you 10 best tips to speak flawless English. Let's begin. Do you remember your childhood? Have you ever thought how you learned your native language? In the same way, you have to create a friendly environment to speak flawless English. That is your target language. We know pretty well the order LSRW: listening, speaking, reading and writing. In the same way, we have to follow to learn flawless English. Let me begin with my first tip. Maybe you can guess it because it is nothing but careful listening. Careful listening leads to easy speaking. Because if you observe whatever we learn today, that is because of our careful listening. We have many types of listening, but evaluative listening helps you to analyze better. So my advice for you people is, instead of watching your news channels or cricket commentary or movies in your native language, you can try listening them in English. That's what helps you in a better way to refine your language. Now tip number 2. Never hesitate to speak. Just by observing others' speaking skills, please never hesitate to speak, because the most important aspect to be a good speaker is to speak. Whatever we listen, of course, listening helps you to obtain good vocabulary, good expression, as well as right pronunciation. But we are not devices to remember everything we listen. We ought to have a good practice to be a good orator. My third tip for you people is, try to be reachy and catchy. Always your choice of vocabulary must be much relevant to the crowd you are addressing. The main motto of conversation is to enable the listeners to understand your concept. So make sure you grasp the vocabulary in such a way that it is reachy and catchy, because it should be easily understood by the listeners. Tip number 4. Please try to avoid bombastic language. So unnecessary usage of high vocabulary must be avoided, because ostentation doesn't give much better impact. Only prove when necessary. No need to show off your high vocabulary standards to the common people. So try to act wise and appropriate. And my next tip is, word selection according to the context is very much important, because choice of words matters the most sometimes. So make sure your listeners feel much more relevance with the terminology you are using. That's what makes you a better orator. My sixth tip is, commonly committed mistakes are to be avoided. For example, I'll give you some commonly committed mistakes. While the teacher enters the class, if he or she herself or himself starts saying that, yeah, let us discuss about this topic. No, it is not the right way, because discuss never follows about. Let us discuss this topic is the correct expression. And in the same manner, while you take preposition, on foot is the right thing, but usually they say by foot. And car runs on petrol. She came in a sari. All these comes under prepositions. When you relate it to pronunciation, you can see generally most of the people use market, but it is actually market. And at the same time, when it is related to verbs, when we say kid, that is okay. But when we add s to it, we say kids. But it is actually z sound, kids. Friends, eyes, kids. Okay, all these when you add s to it, it becomes za, but not s. In some cases, we have to accept both American as well as Britain accents. Like you can say college as well as college. In the same manner, you can say stupid as well as stupid. If you add ed to the verbs, see, for example, you can say rub, rubbed. When you add ed, it remains as ed. But when you have to say park, park plus ed, it becomes ta, parked, parked. It is not parked, but it is parked. As well as some becomes id, it sounds. For example, when you say want and you add ed to it, it becomes wanted. It is not wanted, but it is wanted. If you want me to tell you about the rules as well as some more examples, try to comment me, and then I'll try to help you with the rules as well as the examples. Now, coming to my next tip, please try to give some time to speak in English. make sure at least for half an hour a day you try to speak in English. If you are the beginners, try to start speaking in English for an hour if you have enough time, or if you even don't have enough time, please make some time to start speaking in English, because that's what gives you much confidence. And make sure you are knowledgeable of the topic. Try to speak what you know. When you are really knowledgeable regarding that particular topic, that's what boosts your confidence. Confidence matters the most, because when confidence engulfs you, nothing can stop you. That's what I told you even in my previous video. So when you have confidence, you will be capable enough to convince others into your track. Especially the beginners, you have to keep a particular time. For example, 7:30 to 8. Yeah, this is your free time. At that particular time, try to speak only in English. That's what helps you to boost your confidence. The beginners have to start from known to unknown. Of course, everybody, but especially the beginners, whatever you know, that gives you much confidence to speak. Tip number 8. See, always try to download progressive games. That is what is my tip number 8. That's what helps you, because it is obvious whether we agree or not, we spend much more time with our mobiles rather than people, of course, in most of the cases, isn't it? You can download games from your Play Store. You can find different games related to vocabulary as well as codes, idioms and phrases, phrasal verbs, verb forms. You can also conduct self-tests through your games. I think this will help a lot of people, because these days even children are spending more time with mobiles. Don't you feel so? So you can try different stories apps, or you can try different games. Instead of playing pleasure games, you can do something useful. My next tip is think in English. This is really helpful for you, because in most of the cases we only think when necessary. When you start thinking in English, that's what helps you to be a good speaker. You have to start motivating your mind to think in English, because no one else will be with you all the time. So you yourself have to start motivating your mind to think in English. Now you have to jot down your thoughts. Think a concept and you can jot down all the points and you can improve yourself. That is the reason you can inculcate the habit of reading different kinds of books, whatever interests you, and that's what makes you a better individual, because that helps you to get good English as well as good attitude. So by that you can see a lot of refinement in your thought process as well as in your verbal expression. And moreover, one more suggestion for you. If you observe, I don't know whether you observe it or not, but what I felt personally is, if you are really emotionally connected to any concept or any person, or if you are in anger, then what happens? You will see a great flow in your thought as well as in your expression. So in the same way, when you are angry with a person, instead of shouting at him, you can jot down all your expressions on a piece of paper. That's what avoids your negativity, as well as that's what enhances your skill of speaking in English. The last tip but not least tip is start loving English, because love has the greatest power. It stands as the highest of the high in this world, isn't it? So it just scatters all your scary feelings, fears, your inhibitions, everything. So just start loving English. From the core, just try to love English, accept English and be with English. That's what makes you to speak flawless English. So here are some more tips for you people. If you are enjoying your motherhood, it is obvious with the present children that they spend more time with mobile, isn't it? So ask them to listen. Rather than your native language, you can give them English rhymes, English moral stories. That's what helps them to build right attitude as well as the good vocabulary skills. Ask them to play something which helps them to have a better future. That's how you can successfully complete your parenthood. And the next tip I would like to give you is you can write your thoughts. That is something new to you. Jot down the important points that helps you to have good attitude as well as good communication skills. Relate the terminology and have self-analysis. What is this self-analysis? You have to realize what to speak, when to speak, what is the appropriate words to put in. That's what you have to analyze all the time. That makes you a better communicator. And always make sure you keep your listeners in your mind. Okay, because your choice of words as well as the topic must be in relevance to your listeners. That's what makes you a good orator. Please try to do that. I think this video is very helpful for you. My request for you people is try to give me your inputs, like in what way I can help you. If you want me to do videos on pronunciation, grammar videos, I'll do that. Let me know. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.